Hey homies, welcome back. Today we're going to make our monthly Christmas card for the month of April. We've got this adorable stamp and die set from Simon Says Stamp. So there's the die. This was from Christmas last year. And this poinsettia stencil from Hero Arts. This is from 2022. I love this stencil. We're going to use some vellum for the kind of a background piece. We're going to stencil onto Simon Hurley Stark White cardstock with bee sting, and then we're going to stamp the sentiment with the fake plant and emboss it with sparkle. So let's get going. All right, I've got my little stencil mat here. Now this piece of paper is cut a little larger than the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so I can trim it down when I'm done, because that's how I roll. And we're just going to stencil this entire panel and then let it dry and trim it down. I'm going to use a brush, and again, Simon Hurley Bee Sting ink. I love Simon's inks. You know, I feel like the inks are, you know, they're kind of like your cell phone of choice, right? You have to pick an ecosystem. I mean, everybody's got inks, right? And there are a few companies out there that have some beautiful colors that are not the same as what everyone else has, but dude, where are you gonna put all the inks from everybody? And how are you gonna find the time to use all the inks from everybody? I can't see it. So I am mostly, well, you know, all of the Tim Holtz Distress, because hello. And then for regular inks, I've gone Simon Hurley. Color range wise, I'm a big Simon Hurley fan, and they blend so nice. For a regular dye ink, man, Ranger figured it out. They're lovely. How's everybody been? I'm not doing as many videos. I don't know if anyone out there has noticed or not, but I gave myself 3 years to get a channel that was actually monetized and making some money, and that has not happened. So I'm going back to work. My husband and I are both working on getting a real estate license here in Florida. Now, he still works full time, but we're thinking ahead to when he's ready to quit turn and wrench. He's an auto mechanic and he's the shop foreman. So he can go ahead and get licensed now and then just remain inactive until he's ready to start selling houses. And I have a friend who owns a real estate company, and I'm going to go work for her. And so we're about 10 hours into our 63 hours of required education. So now I'm going to go over this with what's left on the brush. Just soften that white a little bit. And if you don't feel like you have enough, you can always put a little more on there. Just kind of tap it off so you're not getting splotchy splatters. I think I might need to re-ink this baby. Just kind of soften the white. And if you want to get really fancy, you could always splatter the background. A little gold, little silver. That would be nice because, you know, holidays, right? Okay, there's our background. Now we'll get ready to stamp. All right, so I'm going to just stamp on some Stark White cardstock too, because I have another scrap of it. I love this stamp. I make Christmas cards for my aunt and uncle every year for their real estate business. They send them to their clients, and this was the sentiment they chose for last year. Usually make them three cards and give them the choice. They can have them all the same, or if they want a combination, and they actually just wanted all of that one. Put a little powder on there because of the embossing powder. And we'll just lay this down. This is going to be a close fit for my die, but that's okay. All right, let's go to number 2. All right, and now let's add some powder. Make this nice and glittery. Okay, I'm gonna go heat this up and I'll be right back. Okay, while that embossing is cooling off, I'm gonna take my stencil and what's left on my brush and add a little bit inside, because you know how I feel, no naked insides. There, just a little bit of something inside. All right, let's get the sentiment cut out. It will fit through the little buddy. Tape this down so it doesn't shift on me. Run it through. I'm going to cover the whole card front with that. And I think our card is going to go this way. I'm going to cut this piece of vellum in half long way. So we're going to go like that, just to give it a little extra texture. It doesn't really need it, but I want it. We're going to use bear glue, because you know how I feel. Bear glue to the rescue. Voila. And I'm just going to put a little glue in the very center of this and put it down. And then I'll add some dots of glue behind the bling when the bling goes on. There we go. Now again, my goal with these Christmas cards every month is for them to be easily mass produced. So they're relatively simple. You know, we're not doing 15 layers of anything. And you know, without feeling like you have to buy new Christmas stuff. You know, use the Christmas stuff you have. You know, most of us have multiple Christmas, multiple Halloween, a multiple birthday. Yet every year the stuff comes around and we start feeling like we need to buy some more. You know what? No one's going to remember that 2 Christmases ago you sent them a card using this stamp. No one's going to remember that. So just use them. I've gotten the last few years a lot more picky about my holiday or seasonal or very specific use types of things. And there's tons of stuff out there I would like to have, but there does come a point where it's just like, oh my gosh, how many different, for an example, sets of cupcakes can I have, you know? I recently had a company reach out to me. They wanted to send me some dies to make some cards with and do videos for them. And so, and they had 3 specific sets. I didn't get to pick my sets. 3 specific sets they wanted to showcase. So I just ordered those yesterday. So that'll be coming in May. Okay. Merry Christmas and happy all the days. Centered-ish, straight-ish. Now let's add some bling to this baby. So here I have a baggie of leftovers. This was from last year's Christmas card making. So there's sequins from Brutus Monroe in here, buttons galore and more, probably Pink Fresh. All my little containers that, you know, that I had left over, I just threw them all in that baggie and mixed them up because I figured I'd just use it all together. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we'll add some on this side. And you know I'm an over sequiner. That's just how it is. Okay, once those dry, I will put some dots of glue behind them on the vellum just to give it a little more hold. And I'll be back and show you this completed card. Okay, here's the finished Christmas card. Quick, simple, easily reproduced. We've got the Hero Arts poinsettia stencil. Now this one's not available anymore, but there's a similar one and I will find it and link it. We used Simon Hurley bee sting to do our stenciling and then took the leftover ink on the brush and went over that background to soften it a little bit. We stamped our Merry Everything and Happy All the Days using Simon Hurley Fake Plant, which is probably my favorite Simon Hurley green. And this came with the die too. So since it was only one die, I just stuck a piece of magnet right on the back of the backing sheet and it just stores that way. Add a little vellum to soften there. Put that on with foam tape, well, after we embossed it. Judykin's Sparkle Embossing Powder. I have had this for 100 years, yo. It's old. Add a little bling and voila. Super simple. Stencil on the inside with your leftovers that's on your stencil, and that's it. Y'all, this is your April Christmas card. Get your cards going. If you do, say, 5 cards a month, you'll have all your Christmas cards done by December. Yes. Y'all have a lovely day. Remember, be excellent to each other and go make something. Bye-bye.